The game of baseball has captured the attention of Americans for more than a century. Thousands of players have performed at the major league level, but until last night, only 16 had hit the ball safely 3,000 or more times during their careers. Pete Rose topped the list, followed by Ty Cobb and Hank Aaron. The others with 3,000 or more hits are Stan Musial, Tris Speaker, Honus Wagner, Carl Yastrzemski, Eddie Collins, Willie Mays, Nat LaJoy, Paul Wainer, Cap Anson, Rod Carew, Lou Brock, Al Kaline, and Roberto Clemente. At Milwaukee's County Stadium on September 9th, Robin Yount of the Brewers joined those immortals as the 17th member of the exclusive 3,000 Hit Club.
Back in against Mesa, who is working from the windup. The 0-1 pitch. Swings, and there it is! A base hit into right center. He's got it. 3,000 for Robin.
It's hard to describe something like that. It's not like that. It happens every day, and it's just a very special feeling, and obviously something I'll never forget.
It was just a moment that you can't predict what's going to happen or how you're going to react, but to see Robin respond and the fans respond and the ovation continue as long as it did, it was, like I said, very unexpected but very emotional for a lot of people, including myself.
It's something that when I'm out of the game that I'll never forget all my life, that watching him get his 3,000 base hit and being there and being the first one out there to congratulate him was just a great feeling, and I'm so happy for him that play with a guy that gets 2,000 base hits doesn't come every day, and I'm just I was really nervous tonight.
I cherish these sort of things because baseball is made on memories. It's made on guys of his quality that stand alone up there in their own little section, and that's why they have the Hall of Fame, and that's where he'll go, and well deserved.
You know, it's so exciting to see all the people so happy, and I was glad that it was here and tonight, and it was such a build-up being that last night, and it was just a real great moment.
Games for Newark in his only minor league season, 18-year-old Robin Yount caught the attention of manager Del Crandall and Brewers officials during spring training in 1974. The Brewers had finished 23 games out of first place the previous year. One of the players brought into camp was veteran Philippe Alou, now manager of the Montreal Expos.
You know, they have several real good ball players and real good young prospect like shortstop Robin Yount. It really surprised me. His fielding, his confidence, his hitting.
Robin's fielding, confidence, and hitting won him the starting job at shortstop. I put together a half-hour Brewers special titled Boomer and the Kid. Boomer was slugging first baseman George Scott. The Kid was Robin Yount. Not quite sure what to expect as he launched his major league career.
We got a real good club, I think. I think we can do it, but I haven't experienced this stuff yet.
Yount batted .250 and was named Brewers Rookie of the Year that first season. The hits kept on coming, and on August 16, 1980, this homer in Cleveland was the 1,000th hit of his career. In the 1981 season, the Brewers were bidding for playoff action for the first time, and Yount was playing a leading role. A 3-run homer in the 9th inning in late September in Detroit gave the Brewers an 8-6 victory.
It's just one of those streaks players get into, and I happen to be in one now, and hopefully it'll last for a few more days.
The Brewers went on to win the second half of that strike-interrupted 1981 season, qualifying to meet the Yankees in the playoffs.
When you win, it's the best feeling in the world, and that's what we did. We won the second half, and now we're just going to take on the Yankees to try to win the American League East.
1982 was the season Brewers fans will never forget. In late September, the team was battling Baltimore for first place in the division, and Robin Yount was having his best year. Chance of MVP greeted him every time he came to the plate in a home game. On September 24th, Robin had a pair of homers and 6 RBIs in a big victory over the Orioles.
I'm real excited. I would love to get this division stuff over with as soon as possible. I'd like to just go out there again tonight and beat them. I know everybody on the team's real excited.
The race went down to the final game of the regular season in Baltimore. Yount responded with a pair of homers and a triple in a 10-2 romp. The Brewers had won the American League East.
There aren't any words to explain Robin Yount. He's just the greatest ball player that's walking today.
That's just Robin right there. Robin's just having a super year. If that doesn't lock down the MVP, I don't know anything ever will.
Yount certainly did win MVP honors. 210 hits, 331 batting average, 46 doubles, 29 homers, and 114 runs batted in.
Believe me, I'm excited. Maybe I don't show it outside all that much. But when I get a little champagne in me, I'll show it a lot.
The Brewers rallied to win the league playoffs against the California Angels, went on to meet the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series. Yount batted .414 in the series, including a 4-hit performance in one of the contests against the Cards.
Well, he's a great ball player. I mean, all-around ball player. I guess he has to rank right up there in the top 3 in baseball right now. Everything's been said, and again, I'd say the best all-around shortstop I've ever seen play.
I enjoy much more, though, seeing and hearing the praise for the team, because that's what it's all about, you know. And we've got, as far as I'm concerned, the best team in baseball right now.
But St. Louis eventually prevailed 4 games to 3.
It just hurts a little bit to know that we came this close and didn't quite finish it off.
When the team returned home, the fans gave them a tremendous welcome, capped off by a celebration at County Stadium. Still the kid, Yount arrived on a motorcycle. Robin underwent surgery in his right shoulder following the 1984 season, and the next year moved to the outfield. On September 6, 1986, against Cleveland, Robin collected his 2,000th hit. Another career highlight came June 12, 1988, when he became the 3rd Brewer to hit for the cycle, a homer, triple, double, and single in the same game. On July 2nd, 1989, Yount pushed his hit total to 2,500 in a game against the Yankees in New York. That same season, he hit .318 with 103 RBIs, capturing his 2nd Most Valuable Player award. This season, Robin went through a midsummer slump, but emerged with a barrage of hits the past few weeks to close in on number 3,000. After more than 2,700 Major League games, half of them here at County Stadium, Robin Yount remains basically the same person he was as a rookie back in 1974. What effect does closing in on the 3,000 hits had on you?
Not really too much, to be honest with you, other than the more attention, I guess, as far as media and fan mail and those kinds of things, autographs. But other than that, everything else is pretty much the same.
What do the fans say?
Well, everybody's wishing me luck and hoping that I can get it. And, you know, everybody's been great, you know. Just a little more attention and like I said, a few more autographs.
What does reaching that plateau mean to you?
At this point, it's I don't really know, to be honest with you. Maybe someday when I'm done playing and look back upon my career, it may mean a little more, and at least it may look like I did something while I was out there.
Did you ever dream as a youngster that someday you'd be in a class with the Mutuals and the Cobbs and the Aarons?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, those kinds of things were beyond dreams, to be honest with you. I can remember dreaming about playing in World Series and things like that, and maybe hitting a home run in a World Series game, but to be mentioned with those people is beyond that.
Did you have any boyhood baseball heroes?
Oh, certainly. When I was growing up, I used to follow the San Francisco Giants quite a bit, and Willie Mays fan and this and that. And as I got older, playing high school ball, Joe Rudy was one of my favorite players. I used to really like the way he hit and used to try to kind of copy his style.
And now you're a lot of young boys' idol. With a situation like that, do you feel that brings a special responsibility, being kids' idol?
Well, I think everybody needs to just be themselves, and hopefully that's a decent person. If that is a role model or an idol or whatever you want to call it, I think it's when you're in the public eye as much as we are, I think you have some sort of responsibility, at least to act somewhat decent, I guess.
Now, if you'd played in New York or Los Angeles, you'd have got a lot more publicity. and probably a lot more endorsements and things like that. Any regrets having played all these years in Milwaukee?
None whatsoever. I think Milwaukee has been great for my career. The organization, the city, the fans, I mean, it's worked out perfect for me, and I wouldn't change it for a thing.
If you look back on the thrills that you had in baseball, where do you think 3,000 hits might rank?
Oh, I'm not sure. There's obviously the biggest thrill was the World Series, the year of '82, the last month, and then the playoffs and series. I really don't know, I guess, until it happens where it'll fit in. But like I say, I don't think it's going to be beyond the World Series.
Of the 3,000 hits, are there any in particular that stand out in your memory?
Well, I think the last day of '82 when we were playing Baltimore, I hit a couple home runs that were probably the most memorable hits in my career.
And the current season, I was going to ask you about that. What's it been like for you this 1992 season?
Well, it's been fun. You know, we've been a good, steady team pretty much all year, and been right in the thick of things. And when you're in that position, it's a lot more fun than if you're quite a ways back. So it's been a fun year.
And I think I know the answer, but when will you make the decision about next year?
Well, that'll come this winter sometime, you know, after this season's over, and sit down and see where we're at, you know, as far as physical ability, family, all that stuff. There's a lot of different things to weigh into it, but that's something we'll decide later on.
If you were to express something to the fans, make a statement to the fans, what would it be?
Oh, just that I would like to thank them for being so good to me throughout my career. You know, they've been behind me every time I come out here, it seems like, and I don't think I could have played anywhere else and been treated as well as I have here.
I think he's one of the greatest players there's ever been. Plus, I think he's one of the nicest persons around.
I think of Milwaukee. I think he's a great baseball player. It's good for Milwaukee.
When baseball, think about Robin Yount.
Robin's the kind of player that I think, I don't want to date him or make him seem too old or whatever, but he's the kind of player that when I came along or whatever, you try to model yourself after. He goes out there, he plays the game very hard. He's in there all the time. He's a very good hitter, a very good clutch hitter. I've always admired him, and I hate to see him when the game's on the line to play.
He is such a pure, natural hitter and one of the best athletes I ever played with. Probably, though, if we're all honest, we are all more concerned and aware and interested than Robin Yount is. He's the kind of guy that was not goal-oriented. He would play the same way if he was going for hit number 3 as he is for number 3,000. Somewhere down the road when he's accomplished it, he's going to sit back, prop his feet up, and say, yeah, I'm in some pretty good company, and be proud, as we will all be proud for him when he does it.
I think it's a great thrill. I think it's probably a milestone in anyone's career when you reach the 3,000 base hit mark. It's probably, I would say, a stepping stone, an open door, an invitation, whatever you want to call it, to being almost unanimously elected into the Hall of Fame.
Well, I've played against him now for 19 years, and I remember him when he was a shortstop and when he was 18 years old, and we were both rookies, and when he would come to Kansas City, we'd go out and have a few beers after the game and get something to eat, and it's great to see someone that's devoted his whole career to one town, Milwaukee, and now they're going to share something together. I'm so happy for him, and I just wish it would have happened today or when we were playing him, because I'd love to be part of it. I'll give him a call when it happens, and I told him today, good luck, and keep swinging and go for it, because he's always been one of my favorite players in the league to play against, and just a lot of respect for Robin Yount. He's a tremendous guy.
The best way I could explain, Robin Yount's the same person he is today than when he broke in. He never changed. Robin was one of those people that didn't change. You know, he was successful and knew how to wear it. That's a very hard thing, I think, for any of us to do, to be successful but wear it right. And the best compliment I could pay Robin Yount is he sure knew how to wear success all his life. And it's a great tribute to him, and I think a great tribute to the city of Milwaukee that he played here.
Well, I don't think you can summarize it briefly, but I think overall Robin's a real competitor and makes adjustments. He's an intelligent player, so I think that he studies the pitchers and counts and what they do in situations, and so I think he makes adjustments, and with the natural ability he has, it makes him a good player.
You have to be around a long time to get 3,000 hits. Plus, he's been a great player. He's overcome some injuries and then some adversity along the way. He's made the career shift from one position to another position, and I tell you, getting 3,000 hits is something to be proud of. Not too many guys have achieved that, and I got fairly close, and I guess now I'm out of the game. I look back on it, the one thing I always say is, gee, I wish I could have played, or wish I could have been able to play to get that 3,000 hit, because it's something that people really recognize.
A guy that's been there for the Brewers for so many years. Guy never played a day in the minor leagues, came right out of high school, has gone through ups and downs. I think everybody has to realize when you play baseball, you go through ups and downs. Nothing's glorious. And has conquered it. I mean, when he gets 3,000 hits, not many people have done it now. And it's probably a sure ticket to the Hall of Fame, and he sure does deserve it.
He is the consummate professional. When they made Robin, they threw away the mold. Very few players play the game with the intensity he has, with the love for the game he has, with the kind of focus that never centers around Robin Yount. It always centers around what the team's going to do. And when they put the plaque up in Cooperstown, Hank, that's all they got to put on. Consummate professional, because that's Robin Yount.
You definitely sit up and take notice with him when he comes to the plate. Kind of broke me in hard here one day. I won't forget it. He took me out of his ballpark twice, and just a tremendous hitter. And he continues, he adjusts. You know, the adjustments that he makes is the reason why he's played so long. But, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of players that are even closer than the visiting teams. You know, he has friends on all the teams, of course, and we're well aware of what he can do with the bat in his hand. But everybody will be happy to see him get 3,000 hits, that he's been able to do it. A few injuries here or there, but again, he's made the adjustments to play as long as he has, and I just think it's a great thing for not only baseball, but for this town.
When I first saw Robin as a younger player, you know, he had great talent, and he hadn't blossomed yet. And then when I came over here in 1981, he was probably one of the best ball players I'd played with. He could do it all. He could run, he could hit, he could throw. He had all the tools, and, you know, he, like you say, he's creeping up on 3,000 hits, and once you hit that number, that opens the door to superstar.
I try to remember that concept going into every game, that, you know, with injuries, with things the way they are now, it's, you know, I try to play as hard as I can, and you know, I look to him for a lot of things that I've learned in the game, and I respect him a lot as a ball player and a friend.
He hasn't changed. I mean, you've seen him probably almost as much as I have, but I'll tell you, a couple of weeks ago, he made a catch in center field, I mean, that you don't see a lot of young center fielders make, you know, so, I mean, as far as his playing ability goes, nothing's changed, and I'm sure he's going to be the happiest guy in the world when this 3,000 base hit is gone, because he wants nothing to do with it, really. He's more concerned about winning. He's the most unassuming guy that I think I've been around in my professional career.
Paul Molitor, Jimmy Gattner, and Robin Yount have played more games with the same team than any other threesome in Major League history. But Molitor and Gattner aren't just teammates, they're Yount fans.
Well, there's no question, Hank, and I've said this before, but I know when I have a chance to look back and reflect on my career, a lot of things are going to stick out, but one of the biggest highlights is going to be the fact that I'm going to be able to say that I was Robin Yount's teammate for 15 years. And to watch him on a day-to-day basis, the way he goes about his job, his professionalism, his unselfishness, not to mention the way he handles himself off the field, just so many positive characteristics about Robin, the way he's kind of been a cornerstone of this organization over the years. It's been a real honor and a privilege to play with him.
Jimmy, you've played with him as long as anybody, you and Paul. What's it been like to play with Robin all these years?
Well, it's been very special, you know, to play alongside of a guy that's going to be a future Hall of Famer, and you know, for 15 years, get to see him day in and day out, and just how consistent he is and steady he is, and you know, all the success he had, he's still down to earth, and you know, a lot of guys that put up those kind of numbers would probably have a big ego, but Robin's just down to earth, and it's, you know, that's something, you know, like when I get out of the game, I'll be able to tell my grandchildren that, you know, I played alongside Robin for 15 years plus.
Over the past 19 seasons, 8 different men have managed the Brewers. If there's one thing they shared in common, it's admiration for Robin Yount.
You just put the guy in the lineup and you just watch him and you enjoy watching him do his thing, watching him come out here and work out, watching him practice, watching him take batting practice, watch him go in the game and play as hard as he can play and get good results. So from my standpoint, I couldn't have asked for a better situation than to have him to work with and to be a quality leader on our ball club for my first year.
He helped young people and he helped the veteran players, and
I think he's doing a good job.
He's always steady and stable and always working hard for the team, not just for himself, but for the team, which is really good for myself and my boys. I like to have my boys see him.
Yes, he'll always be the kid.
And all along I said it wasn't any big deal, you know, it was just going to be another hit. Well, obviously it turned out to not be just another hit. It really turned into a lot more than I was thinking it ever was going to be.
TMJ4 Productions presents